Welcome, everyone, to the Respawn Aim Fire podcast, the Kick-Ass Irreverent Gaming podcast. Whoa. If I had continued talking without interrupting myself, I would have said the Kick-Ass Irreverent Gaming podcast from Papa John's, which is, like, not inaccurate, even though I haven't had Papa John's in probably, I don't know, 12, 15 years. Not for lack of trying. There's just not one near me. I prefer them over Domino's. And in fact, every time someone in my life has eaten Domino's in the last 2 months, they've gotten violently ill. Welcome, everyone. I'm one of your hosts here, Chad. Loves pizza. Michael Innes. We've also got here Adam. Hey, tell me about your pizza options around you. And you also remember you had something funny that you wanted to say at the beginning of this. We usually don't start this funny. In fact, most of this podcast is not usually funny. But you wanted to make a point to make something funny. Gumbert.
Hey, it's me. Papa John's, strangely, is a very... I mean, here's the thing. Papa John's started in Louisville, Kentucky. I live in Lexington,
really?
Kentucky. So, yeah, I believe the first Papa John's...
That explains a little bit of his racism.
Maybe so. It's all Shaq now, though. So, yeah, there actually is a lot of Papa... Like, I have a Papa John's, like, next to where I live and next to where I work.
Damn,
so I'm able to get
lucky.
it on the way home or
do you just,
on the
like...
way there.
Yeah, on the way to work, you're just like, let me get a cup of that garlic sauce, that garlic butter. You just sip on that on your routes?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, no, I do get it maybe like once a month. I'll go get Papa John's on the way home. Yeah, a lot of good pizza options here, I will say. Chains, anyways. As far as the funny thing, all right. Everyone knows Twitter, the algorithm for some people has been messed up. It's been crazy. My algorithm has been good until lately, right? So it's always been a lot of wrestling. Cool, no problem. I like wrestling, that's fine.
Sure.
It's been a lot of football, and then recently NCAA College Football 25, because the video game's coming out. I'm excited. Makes sense. It's given that to me. Starting to get more and more political stuff. I don't really engage with it. Don't know why it gives it to me, but I guess it's that time of year. All that is interesting. And again, there's people that I like that are gaming people. There's gaming stuff. It's cool. But for some reason, and I'm not sure why, I'm getting so many ads for adamandeve.com. It has been an insane, like legitimately every ad that I'm served, not every post that I see, every ad is Adam and Eve trying to sell me a sex toy. And it's always like, the one earlier today was like monster parts or whatever.
Monster parts.
Like it was weird. So it said monster cock. But the algorithm knows that I'm a male. So it was like, it was, it was fleshlights basically.
Right,
But they were like
right.
weird, like, oh, this is a dragon lady. But it was called monster cock, even though they're fleshlights, so they are not. I would assume monster cock would be a dildo, correct?
Yeah, right?
Not a fleshlight. But anyways, so yeah, for some reason, Adam and Eve is just like, buy all of these monster cocks, please. And I'm like, I just want to see wrestling in College Football 25. I don't care about your monster cocks. I don't care about your dragon pussies. I don't want any of that. But that is, that's what I'm being served currently. I don't know why that was funny to me. Well, I know why it's funny, because it's dirty. But yeah, it was interesting.
I used to, Adam and Eve, I remember hearing those commercials on the radio, going to school in the mornings. And I used to be like, oh, this is dirty. Oh, Adam and Eve. Oh. And then I lived in Chicago for like 7 years, and I got completely desensitized to it, because you'll ride down the street on the bus on Broadway and pass a half dozen stores that have like their window displays, like you would see in Macy's, with like a mannequin and like some kids at the beach wearing sunglasses and like all that kind of stuff. These are just like window full of just those like fleshy asses that like Little Dicky fucks on his show, Dave. Just asses and also just in the window. I used to walk to the Red Line Belmont stop to catch the train, and right there by the stop, I don't know if it's still there, but I don't know the name of the shop, but on the window it just read condoms, lotions, and potions, and it just had all sorts of sex toys in the window. And just like, okay,
that is a good name if that's the name of the store. I will say.
I don't know if that's the name of it or whether that's just what they were advertising lived inside. But if you want to hear more sex talk, you can join us on Sunday evenings around 8:30 Eastern Time on twitch.tv/affableidiots. Or you don't even know what we censor out of this thing when you catch it on demand on Tuesday mornings, YouTube and podcast services at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We've got just a little bit of news to talk about, and two different segments today where we are ranking games from 2024 in two different ways and in two different subsets. Wild. I know. They said we couldn't do it. They said it couldn't be done. Stick around and find out.
It's going to happen, though.
First up, let's talk about our main quest. Capcom tells all about new games. These are multiple articles we're going to reference here from IGN, the Igneous Rock website.
By the way, also another dumb thing. It was a holiday this past week,
true.
right? So I went the 4th of July for any Cozy wouldn't understand because he doesn't have freedom. 4th of July.
Right.
It's a holiday the Americans get.
You guys celebrate? Is that a good thing? Of course it's a good thing. We have it. You wouldn't understand.
Cozy's not here. Apparently, a Canadian goose bit him in his monster cock, so he wasn't able to be here. But I was on vacation. You know, you watch the only time I watch cable is when I'm at a place with cable, like a hotel.
Yeah.
And I love this movie. I loved it as a kid. I think it's like a 2001 Evolution. Do you remember this movie?
Oh yeah. With the
it's
aliens
like the
and the
comedy
happy face with the eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spiders,
Which they made
it? Like spider aliens.
A little bit. They evolve obviously into other things.
I'm conflating Evolution and Eight-Legged Freaks.
I mean, there are weird little spider-ish things, but no, it's an early 2000s comedy where it's like, aliens land and they evolve into different creatures and they're dealing with the creatures. They actually made a kids cartoon show based off of it, which I also enjoyed very much. That was just funny to be watching Evolution on vacation while experiencing freedom. Wild movie, I will say. Go watch Evolution if you
2001,
chance, guys.
David Duchovny, Orlando Jones, Sean William Scott, Julianne Moore.
Yeah, it's a good cast.
Ivan Reitman. Ivan Reitman directed this thing. I feel like that's a name I know. Why do I know that name?
Oh, Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Yeah, Ghostbusters, Kindergarten Cop, Junior, Legal Eagles.
I don't think I've seen that one. I don't think it was that one. But anyways, continue, Chet.
Yeah. Oh, he did some episodes of My Super Ex-Girlfriend. No, I'm thinking of My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. He did a movie called My Super Ex-Girlfriend.
A lot of ex-girlfriends.
Cool. Father's Day. Sorry, now I'm just like...
You're just looking at Ivan Reitman's discography or
Twins.
Filmography. A lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I guess he and Arnold are big friends. So, speaking of Capcom, with rumors flying that Resident Evil 9 is on the verge of being revealed, Capcom has confirmed that the next entry in the storied survival horror franchise is now in development. Development will be led by Resident Evil 7 Biohazard director Koshi Nakanishi, who confirmed the new sequel in the course of talking about the previous game's mobile release. Here's a quote. "It was really difficult to figure out what to do after Resident Evil 7, but I found it, and to be honest, it feels substantial. I can't share any details just yet, but I hope you're excited for the day I can." Ooh, Resident Evil Nueve, eh?
Were you into 7 and 8?
Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I liked Resident Evil 7 a lot. I think a lot of that was colored by the fact that I played it all in VR. And so that was like new and novel and freaky and tickled my giblet in so many different new ways. And then I played Village, and I liked Village a ton. I liked it. I thought it was a little bit too long, just like almost every Resident Evil game. But I enjoyed them both a lot. So I'm up for whatever's next in this, especially knowing that he's coming from 7 and then going on to 9. Like, I'm ready to see what he's going to give me. Are you? I know you're not a scary boy, but do you fuck with Resident Evil? I can't remember.
No, the only Resident Evil I fucked with are the ones that... My first Resident Evil ever was 5. Love 5.
Yeah, played
Had
co-op.
a good time with that co-op.
Friend.
Yeah. And then I played 6, and I played Revelations.
So you played all the bad Resident Evils.
Yeah, I played the ones that people don't like as much as the other ones. Yes, that is true. I don't think people hate 5. I mean, 6 was not... I did not finish 6. I was like, I'm good on this one. But no, I have not played 4. I have not played 2. I have not played 7, 8. But yeah, I like that they are made. He seems like a good... you think it'll stay... It's interesting because you got to think about... They've been doing the remasters, obviously, which have done very well for them.
Right.
You know, people loved 4 last year enough to be like, this could be a Game of the Year contender. But this is the guy who obviously... They've been doing first person for the last couple. So... I wonder what direction he's going to go. Do we just stay first person? I don't know. Thank God, no more Ethan Winters.
I never finished the DLC on that one, so... Oh, that's right. Well, spoilers for Village. He's dead at the end of Village, right?
I think so.
I
I think
feel like
it's
he
implied that
dies.
he's out of the game at least.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna be a
because his
major
daughter
character.
goes and visits his grave in the future, right? And then someone comes up
Yeah.
in a van and is like, "We need you to come with us. You're part of this government agency now," or something like that. I don't know. It's been so long since I played it.
Isn't it weird how Resident Evil starts as it's I like the intersection of horror but also just weird fucking government sci-fi shit, because everything in Resident Evil universe is like, oh, there's this creepy awful monster, but it's always just like goes back to a scientist made some weird shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is this game?
Speaking of scientists making weird shit, I need to go back and play. I've been toying over the last week with the idea of going back and playing both Village and Resident Evil 4. I always say I'm going to do it in October, spooky season. But I'm like, I never end up having the time to do it in October. So like I might do it sooner than that, but I've been toying with the idea of playing them in VR. And I just realized, again, spoilers for Village. Isn't his daughter at the beginning of this like a baby, like dismembered into like 5 different bottles? Like his baby's head is in one bottle and his heart is in another.
Yeah.
How does Rose grow up into to become a human being by the end of this game?
I think at the end of the game, he gets the pieces of the baby, put the baby back together.
Because that's how babies work.
Yeah, well, that's how he works. Remember, he cuts his hand off and it grows back or whatever. So,
God, I remember playing as, because you're playing as Ethan in 7 Biohazard as well, and I played that in VR. And in like the first 20 minutes, there's a woman who like cuts her hand off with an axe, and I remember sitting there fighting, sitting in the chair, and then she cuts off my hand, and I just go, and I'm just holding my arm up like that, and I was just, it was so, God, that game was, experiencing that in VR is like nothing else. It's so wild.
I think he'll bring it back for 9. I think this guy's got the stuff.
I hope so. They're really into doing things that are good for the industry and good for technologies that aren't good business decisions.
Yeah, because he was talking about the mobile game. Like, that's cool that game's on mobile, but I don't think anyone gave. I mean, they talked about, well, Ubisoft I think said that they didn't sell how they wanted those mobile games to sell.
Well, the problem is that game is on mobile for like one specific model of phone, and it costs as much as a new game on another console, even though it's 30 years old. Or whatever, 55 years old, however old Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is. So yeah, I mean, it's good, again, for the technology that these partners that they're working with must be paying them a ton of money, like PlayStation to make VR versions of all of these things, and then probably Apple for putting mobile versions of these things out. Like, they have to be, because they're gonna lose a ton of money. Because like you said, there's not an install base out there for this yet. But hopefully this sets the groundwork to like slowly make that a normal thing for these things to come to phones and iPads and everything. It's wild.
Yeah, it's cool.
But while we wait for this new Resident Evil, how about another zombie game? In another article on IGN, Capcom has shared new details on Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. DRDR. Doctor. The show Lost, there's a man named Arzt, A-R-Z-T, doctor. He's like, I'm a doctor. And they go out to, spoilers for Lost, season 1.
A lot of spoilers this game episode.
Yep. They go out to, not the Black Pearl, but it's the Black something. And
Lagoon.
It's Black something. And you're like, oh, what is this thing? And you get out there and you find out it's a ship. Like, it's an old-ass ship. And it has dynamite on it. And then Dr. Arzt is waving the dynamite around. He explodes. Arzt is German for doctor, so his name is Dr.
Also, his name's Dr. Doctor.
Yeah. So, speaking of Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, confirming, among other things, that it will release on September 18th, 2024. Saying, quote, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to call this game a remake. Developer Rizusuke Mirai said the new release will run in 4K 60 frames per second on the RE engine and will include quality of life improvements like the ability to move while aiming, as well as improvements to NPC behavior. So this is not a scary game, right? I have honestly never played a Dead Rising game because I was not a 360 boy. And this never came to PlayStation, right? Or maybe it did, but 1,000 years later as a
Yeah, I think it might have eventually. Like, I know 4 came to PlayStation. But no, these games are actually fun. I can actually handle these games. These games aren't too scary where I'm like, oh, I can't deal with it. This is the game, though. I believe when we had Manly Brian Bridges on a past episode of the podcast. He pointed it out that I do not like games that give you hard time limits, like in the game.
Yeah.
And Dead Rising 1 is one of those games where it's like, it's not a real world 72 hours, but you have 72 hours to like beat the game or whatever. So I like the game. Like, I like running around killing the zombies in the mall. Like, it's a cool setting. It's a fun game. It'll be nice to be able to move and shoot. And what a wild thing that we just weren't thinking about back then. But this is the game that showed me like, oh, I hate having time limits on stuff. Like, don't give me a big world to do stuff in and be like, but we got to make sure you do it before a certain amount of time. This was the game, but I still like the game. So I think I have played every Dead Rising. I don't think I've ever beaten a single one of them, but I played every one of them. So this will be a cool new way to play that old game. Because looking at the side by side, it's like, oh yeah, that game old as fuck.
Yeah, seeing the compared images. So this game did come to PS4. The first one came to PS4 in 2016. There's also right now, it's $10 on PSN, or you can buy Dead Rising Triple Pack for $16.06 until July 17th, down from $60. Although the link doesn't work for the triple pack, so I can't actually, on my computer right now, I can't actually see what's included in the triple pack. I assume Dead Rising 1, 2, and 3?
1, 2, and 3, or maybe 1, 2, and 4.
Wasn't there like a spin-off?
Yeah,
game
it's like
too?
Case Zero or something like that. Yeah, they've had a lot.
Dead Rising Triple Pack includes... It doesn't.
Just doesn't want to tell you.
The listing for this on the PlayStation Store website is so fucking bare bones. Okay, here we go. 3 zombies with Dead Rising Triple Pack containing Dead Rising, Dead Rising 2, and Dead Rising 2 off the record.
Off the record. Okay. Yeah.
Wait a minute. What did 3 come out on then?
I think 3 might have been it was an Xbox One launch title, so it might actually be exclusive to Xbox One. So this series.
Oh my god, you're totally right. Yeah, Dead Rising 1 and 2 and 4 are on PlayStation, but not 3.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird series.
Wait a minute. Is Dead Rising 4 Frank's Big Package the name of the game, or is that like a DLC pack?
That is the expansion that came to PlayStation when they did all the DLC and everything. They called it Frank's Big Package.
Okay, now I have to dig in. Dead Rising 4 is like, I assume the actual game, yes, is on...
Yeah, it's 4.
Okay,
and then Frank's Big Package is the...
Also $9.99, 75% off right now. So like, if you're a Dead Rising fan and you want old versions of these games before the new version comes out, now's a good time. Dead Rising 2 is $4.99 by itself.
Not bad. I will say, though, for Capcom, again, I do like Capcom because it feels like a company that, pulled themselves up by their bootstraps because that's as easy as it is, right? But they've definitely come back in a big way. Like, they've been killing it for like the last decade.
Yeah.
So this was all part of like, they had like a little show in the summer showing off some stuff. That's cool. I do also like that none of it can be for me and it doesn't matter because I can still have success. I'm like, awesome, dude. Like, maybe I'll play Dead Rising Doctor Edition, but everything else, it doesn't matter. But I also don't have to like it. It's all good because you guys still
really have. They have, because you got Street Fighter is now relevant again. Like rather than like everyone being like, why don't I just play this old version of Street Fighter 2 instead? Because that's the good one. We're like, no, Street Fighter 6 people are actually playing it. They actually loved and reviewed it well last year. Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter's bigger than ever. Resident Evil's doing fucking gangbusters. They just announced this Marvel vs. Capcom package this summer that everyone's freaking out about. Now Dead Rising. It's like, good for you, Capcom.
Yeah, I love to see it.
They got Horny Ace Attorney in there.
Yeah, I remember Horny Ace Attorney.
We just gotta have them figure out what to do next with Mega Man, because I think as a community we're done with regular 2D traditional Mega Man. Like, they could bring that back, but it's not going to make the same splash as all of the rest of these are. So like, what's the next thing for Mega Man? Mega
Was
Man
it
10,
11 was the last one?
Was 11 even a thing? Did that come out?
Yeah, they did. Who has Mega Man 10 is Mega Man X, which was the, I think, PS1 version.
I think there actually is a 10, though. Like, because there was definitely Mega Man 9 and 10.
Okay. 2018 was Mega Man 11.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia.
So yeah, Mega Man 9 came out in 2008, Mega Man 10 came out in 2010, and then 11 was 8 years later.
Yeah. When was X? I guess X and 10
was like Super Nintendo, yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking of Roman numerals. Anyways, yeah, so it's been a while. I wouldn't be shocked to have a new Mega Man anytime soon. This one actually reviewed well. 11 did pretty decent. So
Yeah, but again, I mean, it reviewed well, but it's like it didn't take the world by storm. Nobody talks about it. I didn't even realize that it existed or that it had come out.
yeah, but this is Monster Cock Capcom. They can, they can do whatever they want. People will be there for it.
They can now. So yeah.
We'll see.
Cool. Good for you,
Good for
Capcom. Yeah, we dabbled. I mean, we dabbled. We fucking lingered there a little bit because that's our only news story this week. So we're gonna get into now what we call playtime, where we talk about what we played this week. Adam, tell me about Uwamit.
Okay, so has Adam played stuff? Yes. I played like 20, 30 minutes of Fortnite to unlock Magneto. Okay. That's cool. But again, I'm in this holding pattern, and I'll say it again. I'm just waiting for College Football 25. I legitimately don't want to play anything.
When does it come out? I feel like I'm tired of you talking about
it. Next Monday.
Okay.
Early access is next Monday at like 5 in the afternoon.
Okay, and of course you got early access,
because technically
right?
It's supposed to come out Tuesday, but I think by time zones it comes out that. So then I'm buying the early access version. So next Monday evening I will be playing it, and I'll put 70 hours in the first week. So yeah, I just like, again, Fortnite, got Magneto, cool, fun, whatever. But I was like, you know what? It's hot as fuck.
It is so
I don't really want to play anything. I just want to sit down and do something. I never watch movies, is my thing. Rarely. Once in a while I'll watch a movie, right? Like I like going to movie theaters, but I don't like. There's people like, you ever listen to like Nick Scarpino, how he's just fucking always is at home watching a movie like all the time. Like I don't ever do that.
It's always like a piece of trash old like early 2000s or an 80s movie.
It's like The Rock.
It's like nothing worth watching.
Yeah. So I actually decided to sit down and watch a movie because it was hot and I wanted to chill, and I don't want to do anything until college football comes out besides unlock Magneto. And I finally watched it. I heard good things. Got to it. Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh, little Pedro Pascal. Little
Pedro starring Nick Cage playing Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Man, have you seen this movie?
I have not.
Okay. It's on Peacock, which is the way I watched it.
Gross.
Yeah, I know. A lot of
Well, the only version of Peacock I have is an ad-supported version. So I only watch it if it's something that's really worth watching, like Twisted Metal.
Yeah, obviously. Here's the thing about movies on Peacock. They're just like, hey, here's 4 minutes of ads at the beginning, and then you watch the whole movie, no problem.
Okay, so you start it, take a poop, and then...
Basically, and come back, and then the commercials are done, which I did. God, that movie's fucking great. It is so fucking weird in, like, the best way. Yeah, it's like Pedro, it's like Nick Cage is playing Nick Cage, and then... It's weird for him to play an actor, and there are other actors in the movies who aren't actors. Whatever, it's fine. Nick Cage is Nick Cage, and the whole idea is that he's like... It's real life Nick Cage. Like, why do you keep taking all these stupid fucking movie roles? He's like, I got debts to pay off, dude. It is, which I think was real life Nick Cage. Like, he had debts to pay off.
Yeah.
And then
he had to sell a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull or something like that in real life.
Yeah,
in order to pay off some debts and shit. Yeah.
So in the movie, he's like, I got to pay off this debt. This guy's gonna give me $1 million to come to his birthday party in fucking Spain. And then he's like, all right, I guess I'll do it. Because his whole thing is like, I got to do these weird movies because I'm Nick Cage. I got to do weird shit. And again, everyone in the world watches Nick Cage movies. Like, literally, the movie starts with someone watching Con Air. And it's fucking crazy. But yeah, then he goes to Spain, and it's Pedro Pascal's there. And then stuff ensues. But then the movie is like self-referential, where like they're writing a screenplay. You're like, oh, in the second act, you should have people do drugs. And like they do else. That's why the meme of like Pedro Pascal smiling really, really big in the car. It's because they did LSD or whatever, but they're in the script for the movie they're writing. There has to be a drug scene in the movie. It's one of those weird ass movies. It's fucking really good though. I like it a lot. So if you haven't watched it and you got Peacock, Nick Cage, wonderful actor. The guy's great. Check it out.
To follow up on a correction, he didn't sell the T-Rex skull because he needed money. In 2015, he gave it back because 8 years prior to 2015, he bought the skull at a luxury auction in Manhattan for $276,000. It was a T-Rex skull that apparently it was a star artifact in a natural history themed luxury auction. And it turns out the skull had been stolen from the Gobi Desert in Mongolia. And so he returned the stolen skull 8 years after he bought it. Who knows what he did with it for 8 years? Fucking nasty.
Just jacked up on it. No. Good movie, though. I would definitely suggest watching it. Yeah, and Pedro Pascal is wonderful in that movie. So good. But yeah, that's really all I did was watch movies and celebrate freedom, unlike some people who aren't here on the podcast.
Right? Maybe if you celebrated freedom a little bit more, you wouldn't have a basement flood. That's
You
God
know?
smiting you for paying allegiance to the king and not God. um yeah, Cozy, I hope everything's okay. I hope there's no serious damage and I hope everything comes out great. I also, it is hot as fuck here. It was also a freedom holiday here, but I stayed inside almost exclusively. I thought about going to go see a movie as well, because movie theater, nice and cold. It's a great place to go while everything's hot as shit. And I had already seen everything that was worth seeing there, so I didn't. So instead, I stayed home, watched The Boys. Boys is very good. I think I talked about this last week too, but The Bear. I finished The Bear, so excellent TV show. And now I am playing a couple of games. There's one game in particular in here that I have never talked about because it was new to me. Every once in a while, I will put on my Vision Pro just to be like, please, dear God, justify the cost that I paid to buy this. And there's nothing to do on it now. So I just like, let me jump into the App Store and just like browse through the apps. And the same, 60 apps that I browse through on the front page of the App Store. And then every once in a while, I'll see like 2 or 3 apps that I haven't seen before. I was like, oh, let me check this out. I haven't seen this. A game called Beat Punch.
Ooh, I got an idea what that is.
Yeah, you might have an idea because it has cubes that are rounded, that are red and blue, that fly at you, timed to music.
Yeah.
And you use your hands to punch them. So very similar to Beat Saber, but
I would say, what if you had
punch.
a sword though? But like, what if you did this game and it was a sword?
You do not have.
I think actually, wasn't this in a commercial? I swear to God, I've seen this game.
Beat Punch in a commercial?
Punch. Yeah.
There are similar games out. Like there's a game called Synth Riders out right now, which is like it's you're not punching these, but you're just like moving your hands in space to like catch the notes, I guess.
Okay.
But this one is straight up like it feels, looks, and like it if China tried to rip off Beat Saber.
That's what
this is 100% 10 cents version of Beat Saber.
Okay.
But it was actually like it was great. I mean,
hey,
it feels like a mix of boxing and Beat Saber because obviously you're just tracking your hands and stuff like that, and so you're punching to get the notes in front of you. There are notes that kind of come from the side in a wide arc, and depending on the color, you either have to do a hook with one arm to punch it if it's the color corresponding to your right arm, or backhand with your other arm if it's the color of your other hand. And then there are ones that come up from the ground. They kind of like arc up from the ground, and you have to like bash those, like hammer curl style. And then just traditional punching. So it's like boxing, and someone's telling you, all right, jab, 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 hook, 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 backhand, like all of that. No one's obviously saying those to you. You're just doing it based on the angle that they're flying in at you, and it's all to generic ass, license free, royalty free music.
This is music.
And it was actually a pretty good time. It was a straight up, if I was on the road and I was like, man, if I really have a hankering to play Beat Saber right now, I might dip into this. The only thing about it though is that it is free to try. Like you can download the app and you can play a couple songs on easy and then a couple songs on normal. But if you wanted to play anything more difficult, and you know me, I don't play around with Beat Saber.
Hardcore Harry over here.
In fact, this week, I got an S rank on 3 different Expert Plus songs. So, like, I am a Beat Saber master. And so I was like, I want to try these on hard. But the game, Beat Punch, is subscription-based, unfortunately. So
subscription?
It's subscription-based. So I bought a month for $3.99.
Yeah, okay. That's
or it's like $37 for a year subscription of it. But I'm not into a subscription-based thing on a headset that I put on once every 3 weeks.
No, that's silly.
So yeah, I tried just to see, all right, what's the hard song on here feel like? Is this actually, difficult, fun, engaging, or is it? But no, yeah, hard was fun. It was fun. So yeah, if you also have a Vision Pro and you're trying to figure out what the hell to do on it, like try out Beat Punch for 20 minutes. What else is on here? RB Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I fucking love this game. I'm still chipping away, making progress. 75 hours in now. I am officially on a new chapter, Cozy. If you're listening to this, I am now on chapter 11 out of 14. Getting closer. This game is like is crack cocaine. Gives you that dopamine hit, and then you're just like, all right, that one, I'm done with that dopamine hit, and there's another one right around the corner. I laid down with my PlayStation Portal in my bed last night, and I said, okay, all I'm gonna do, I'm 95% done with the mainline quest in chapter 10. I have one more side mission and 2 more proto relics to go get in the Cosmo Canyon area. I'm just gonna finish those. It'll take me maybe 30 minutes total. 3.5 hours later, I am balls deep in chapter 11, 3/4 of the way done, because I just get in there, you find a new type of chocobo, you're floating around on water and shit, and you go over to this island to complete an objective, but while you're on the island, oh, there's a little monster over there, and then you go fight that monster, and then you're close enough to like, oh, there's a little bird flying over here, which means there's probably a little life spring. I can go get that, and then I've now explored almost all of that map before I've even done the first part of the very first quest in that area. I'm just
How long were you in Cosmo Canyon?
Cosmo Canyon, I feel like, was the longest I've been in a chapter. So it's chapter 10. I feel like I was there probably 15 hours, maybe.
Okay. Because remember last time you talked, you were there.
Yeah, I've been
not
in
like
Cosmo
last
Canyon
time,
for a
but
while.
like the time before that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and again, I hadn't played Final Fantasy prior to last week. It had been like 5 weeks or something like that because of Destiny 2 Pantheon and it sucking the soul out of me in the month of May. Yeah, Cosmo Canyon was one of those ones where in order to 100% the map, which I've decided I'm committing to every single time I get to a new map, I'm 100%ing it before I move on, it's one of those shitty maps where it's like, hey, wouldn't this be fun if like your objective's over here on the map? But then you go over there and there's no way to reach whatever you're trying to get over there. And it turns out, we're not going to tell you this, it turns out that you actually have to start on the complete opposite side of the map and like ride your little chocobo up here on this little path and fly on this fan and then fly over here and navigate over here and traverse these cliffs and stuff like that in order to make it all the way over here. And it's just like, so it's a lot of that shit. But it's still fun. Still enjoying all of it. So
yeah.
Final
You'll beat it before the end of the year.
I will beat it before the end of the year for sure. We are halfway through the year. We are halfway through the year. I'm over halfway through the game. So yeah, we'll have a spoiler cast maybe in time for Game of the Year conversation.
There you go.
And then more Destiny 2 surprise. And now we're moving on to our no more quest log.
Well, this isn't. Oh no, it's
where's your?
I just deleted it. It's still the same thing though. Yep, right here.
A segment from Adam. It's a segment from Adam. That's Final Fantasy 7. I beat it. Music.
Hooray! So this week, again, I did not know what Chad's thing is. We don't know, but he says that they're different enough.
They are very different.
We are officially over halfway through the year. We have beginning of July, which is the 7th month out of 12, which means over halfway out of 12. So we are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what I've chosen to do is go on tiermaker.com. And it's a little tough today because Cozy's not here, so we can't do, it's not a comprehensive list, but I don't like making lists on things that I haven't touched or played. So for the first 6 months of the year, I have some of the best rated games and some of the things that we've played through the beginning of the year, right? We've talked about on this podcast. They're pretty popular. Again, Cozy's not here, so there's not any Nintendo games on this list. There's some other things that are omitted, but we're going to work with what we have.
Is this a live site that I can go and watch us?
I don't know. No.
Okay.
I can watch it. You cannot watch it.
Cool.
Which means not live.
That's okay.
But what I'm doing, so it's a tier maker, so it's S, A, B, C, and D. I'm going to take the games that we have played and we feel like we can talk about in terms of game of the year, and we're going to tier them. Not saying that like, well, S means that it's my game of the year. They could all be A's at the highest, but still be in the running for game of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we just like, how good is this game? And we're going to tier them. And then maybe you're like, oh, pay attention for this at the end of the year. Something in the D tier, probably not going to be on that list. Something in the A or maybe even the B could maybe be on your list. So I have 13 games here that me and Chad have played throughout the year. And we're going to rank them on our tier list here. All right. So number one.
And these are specifically 2024 games.
2024 games.
Because I have played multiple more games in 2024, but they just were not released in 2024.
No, yeah, these are all the 24 games that we're going to rank here. So, first up, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Chad just talked about it, hasn't beaten it. Cozy has beaten it, but that's still fine. On a tier list of S being the top end, like this game is a masterpiece, it's amazing.
Say less.
A is like
S.
Excellent game. Now, here's the question, though. Are you just saying S because you like Final Fantasy, or is the game actually an S tier game?
The game is actually an S tier game. I mean, look at the reviews for the thing. It was the highest rated game for a long time until fucking, I don't know what just came out that beat it. Something else.
Elden Ring.
Yeah, Elden Ring. Yeah.
So here's the thing.
The game's fucking
That's
great.
fine.
Combat
I need
is
you to
incredible.
sell me on it because the McRoys hate this video game. They both stopped playing it.
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't know anyone aside from Cozy who's beaten it. So everyone stopped playing it because something else happened. Point. They had a kid. Whatever happened. No,
just tell me why it's good. Really, is what
incredible combat. The worlds are just the whole presentation of it is stellar. Of course, everyone knows from Remake the music is incredible, and they fucking went bonkers with it in this one. All of the different music that you're used to from Final Fantasy VII now has different versions of it based on the style of each of the places that you're in. The story and the characters have been completely expanded and now have so much extra context to them to make you care about them. There's all sorts of it's just everything you want from cool fantasy shit times 1,000 in production value. And it's a trillion little tiny fully fledged video games in one. And if you don't like one of those little video games, there's something you play it for 2 seconds and you're on to the next one. It's fantastic.
Cool. Only two things I want to ask you then. There are some criticisms. Do you feel that the game is too long and then you haven't got to the ending, but it seems like there's not really a definitive satisfying ending to it because there's supposed to be 3 parts?
While I have played 75 hours and am at chapter 11 of 14, I do feel like this game is way too long. However, I am still absolutely loving every second that I'm playing of it. So it is too long because video games shouldn't be this long, but it is not too long in that it's overstayed its welcome for me.
Gotcha. I'm still putting it in S tier regardless because, it makes sense. Absolutely. All right, let's go to S tier. Next up on my list is a little video game called Balatro.
Balatro. Didn't they come out and say in a stream or something like that it is pronounced Balatro or something like that?
I looked up on Wikipedia and I think it's I looked up the right way to say it, but then I just don't remember. How that is.
Yeah. So Balatro.
It is Balatro.
So stupid, but everyone says Balatro because that's the right way to say it. I don't care if the person who made it up says differently. But I am on the opposite argument of the GIF and GIF thing. It is GIF, but I forever for the rest of my life will say GIF because I'm tired of fighting with people.
I feel you. Balatro again, which was it is a poker roguelike, but it's much deeper than that. Again, it's like the idea of, okay, we're going to have a roguelike, and you have all these weird little modifiers, and every time it's different and fun. And just to be like, hey, what game do people understand? Oh, cards? Easy. It's just like, play 2 pairs, play a full house, play a straight. It's so simple to understand, but there's I played, I think like 30 hours the last month or so. Or, no, 30 hours total. I played like 17 hours in the last month or so. And it's just like so fun to like keep going through and having little weird modifiers. And again, it's so simple because it's like, what cards are. So just have fun with that. I'm waffling. Is that the way to say it?
Oh, yeah, you can waffle.
Between A and S. Because I do think the game is I mean, it's perfect at what it is. Absolutely, without a doubt. But I'm just like, does it have that little extra step to put it at? It's definitely A tier. It's not lower than A tier. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on A because it's not lower than that. I'll tell you that right now.
So is it just Alatro or is it Salatro? Because it's not Balatro.
No, it's definitely not B. I'm just trying to think. Should I do A or S? Does it have that little extra? Like, it would be in my... But again, I've had games in the years that I think would be a B tier that I think would still deserve to be a game of the year. So should it be A or S? And because things like games don't need to have story and fucking acting. Like, if the video game is good, that's all that fucking matters.
Right, yeah.
And the game is very good. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in S.
I like to think about S tiers like, this is what other games in the genre should try to strive to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a roguelike you got to nail the fun. And again, that is a game that says, I want to do one more run, and then you do 30 more runs. That game does that perfectly. So I'm going to throw that in S. Next up, this is a bit of a cheat. It's stupid. Valorant on console. Only because this game, obviously, Valorant came out on PC years ago. Got coming to console. It's been in beta. Me and Joel and John have been playing it, having a ton of fun. Son's playing it downstairs right now. Game's a ton of fun, but it's also a game that already came out. But I'm just being silly. But that game is fucking good. Let me tell you. I like playing it with a controller, not have to be so sweaty. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in B. Just because I think it is an A tier game, but it's really nothing new. It's just a thing in a new place, and I'm just having fun. But it is an A game, for sure. I'm just putting it in B because I'm not going to talk about it in Game of the Year because it's a game that already came out. It's just not a new thing. So I'll put it in B, but it should be an A.
I concur, Doctor.
Next up, a game that Chad has played. Another game we played with friends and had a good time with. Helldivers 2.
Ooh.
Chad, tell folks about Helldivers 2 and where do we think we should start ranking this bad boy?
I'm thinking... Honestly, I'm thinking S tier for Helldivers as well. I think it came out, it launched strong, it had really great gameplay loops, it was fun as fuck to play with friends, it was social media gold, and it's so many other things that are coming out or have been announced or we've seen trailers for. So many things are compared now to Helldivers. And if I think about that definition of S tier that I just made up 2 minutes ago, where it's like, this is the thing that other people in this type of genre should strive to be, I think Helldivers is the way to do it. There have obviously been like slight missteps where like, I don't think the narrative that they're telling has quite like, I thought it was interesting that the narrative of the game evolves based on what the people do as a society in the game. Like, do we actually go in to fight the robots? But then it's apparently had some missteps where like, cool, you all beat all the robots, and then for no reason they're now back 2 days later. Oh, a new ship full of robots came in, or whatever the fuck it is. So I'm thinking there's a strong argument to be made towards S tier, but I could be persuaded down to A.
I'm thinking A, because the game is a ton of fun. It's very good with friends. You definitely had a moment where it was a big thing, but then I'm thinking about it now. It's like, I don't know anyone still playing it. That doesn't necessarily mean everything, but okay, like I'm looking at, we'll get to it. There's another multiplayer shooter on this list that I have a feeling you would probably want to put in S tier. Would you put that in the same level as Helldivers 2? Is the question. I don't think you would.
I think they're very different games.
Yeah.
And they can both be in S tier.
Mm-hmm. But that can have every game in S tier. I only play
S tier games. That's why I've only played like 3 games this year.
That's what it is. No, I think Helldivers 2 is very good and definitely had a super bright moment. I want to give it its thing, but I don't.
You know what though?
I don't want to S tier because I was just remembering
their whole. They don't call them battle passes because they're slightly different, but like their whole battle pass system, war bonds. Yeah. I didn't like the way that all that did. Like all their cosmetics looked exactly the same, and I wasn't excited about any of that upgrades. And so it was like, that's true. Yeah, okay, we'll do A tier there. They stumbled a bit there.
Yeah, because again, S tier I think should be special. Like that's really got to be like the best. Again, Helldivers is amazing. Definitely should be in here, but I don't think it goes above A. So A is where that one goes. Next up, Foam Stars. Chad, this is a game that came out this year, if everyone remembers. Launched on PlayStation Plus. I think it launched like the day or two before Helldivers 2, which I think was not great for them. But also, so this game I played at PAX West. It was surprisingly had a very good time. I was like, this game will be fun for a weekend. If it's like cheap or free to play or whatever, will be great. And it came out the same weekend as another game that ate the shit out of its lunch, and that game no one ever thought about again. Now,
it was free though.
To put it. Yes, it was free
for PlayStation Plus or something like that.
Yeah. But my thing was like, it'll have an audience and people have fun with it for a week and whatever. But then they just didn't because they played another thing instead. The quality of the game, it's fine. I think this game, obviously, I think this game is just either a C or a D. I wonder how much credit I want to give it. Because that game, no one fucking played that video game. But I did enjoy it when I played it at PAX West, is the thing. So I'm just like, D tier means like it's actually a bad video game. I think D tier is. I don't know if it, but honestly, here's the thing. I think the game is fine. It's fun enough if you have friends, but then you never had friends to play it. And nobody will be thinking about foam stars when it comes to game of the year time, right? I think me bringing this up was just funny.
Yep.
So I think that makes a D tier game. The fact that nobody thought about it then, nobody's thinking about it now, and they will not be thinking about it at the end of the year.
Here's really why. It's because it came out 4 days after Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
That's what it was.
Yeah. But 2 days, you're right, 2 days before Helldivers 2.
2 days before Helldivers? Yeah. If I had played Suicide Squad, maybe it'd be on this list, but I had not. Yeah. Foam Stars going in D tier. Sorry, your game's not that bad, but no one cares. Next up, where do I want to go? I'm going to go another multiplayer game that we had a little more fun with. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, baby.
Hey, Killer Clowns.
A game we were both surprised. Again, we played at PAX East. The demo, I don't think was a great demo at all or weird environment for it. We got codes for the full game. Fucking actually really enjoy that video game. Surprised, like, really wanted to keep playing it. So where are you thinking for Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Again, basically asymmetric multiplayer game. 3 killers, 7 people trying to survive. Think you're Friday the 13th.
I'm thinking C.
Okay.
Which feels, it sounds at first blush like, wait a minute, isn't that reserved for like bad games? There are a lot of things about this game that are not good. The whole like, hey, you're dead, so play these 10-second mini games over and over to get your person a baseball is not good, fun, or engaging, and I wish that it didn't exist. There are the way that you're supposed to play the game with voice chat. We would not have had anywhere near the same amount of fun or engagement if I was sitting around talking to nobody for most of the time that I was on my map until I was close to them or until we were dead. I would have not enjoyed this game at all. So like the game was engaging, I think, because I was in a party chat with you and Alex, and we were just goofing around, having fun, getting killed by clowns and killing people and swapping them up in cotton candy and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the shipped version of how it's intended to be played, I think, is not something that I would enjoy solo.
Yeah, when I look at it, I'm just like, I do look at it on my desktop. I'm like, I'm going to go back and play that game, and I jump in once in a while. When I look at it, the fact that I put Valorant in B tier, I'm like, well, I don't think it's as good as Valorant.
Yeah.
Even though that game came out later, but I do really like it. I think C is like, that's a good game, really fun in certain circumstances. I think works for C. It's like, yeah, that's good if you're in the mood for that. It's good if you like this kind of a thing.
You know what? I don't know if this has been intentional, but you've kind of fallen into. You once said, I think S tier has to be special. S special.
Mm-hmm.
A, you said, but this is an amazing game. And you ranked it A tier. And now you just said C is for certain circumstances.
Yep.
Yeah.
D, doubtful I'll ever play it again. There we go. Perfect. So I'm going to put Killer Clowns in C. If only Killer Clowns was spelled the correct way, that would also make
Siller
sense.
Slowns.
Slowns. No. Next up, let's go to one that Chad has played. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out here. Destiny 2 Final Shape, Chad. It's on the board.
S tier, man. S tier.
S tier. You think it's that special?
I think it is that special. I think that they did something for a game franchise, for really any kind of franchise, that I think is almost impossible to do, and just be universally acclaimed by its fan base at how they ended it. And that in itself is special. But yeah, the game got so many cool enhancements with the launch of the expansion. You have this brand new prismatic subclass that allows for just stupid, cool, new, powerful combinations of abilities and things like that. It has an amazing new destination in the Pale Heart. It has, the Witness. It has this brand new raid that broke people emotionally, but is also still really cool and intricate and complex. And one of the coolest things that I've played with a group of gaming experiences I've had. It's just, a campaign that is like heartfelt, that makes you care for a bunch of characters. And that's an S tier game, baby. That's a special game right there.
I'll agree with you. As someone who didn't really get into Destiny 2 until Witch Queen, I put Witch Queen. I was like, this should be on our Game of the Year list because I loved Witch Queen a lot. And everyone who liked Witch Queen was like, oh, this is better than Witch Queen. So I'm like, oh, yeah, well, then, yeah, makes sense because Witch Queen's fucking great. So, Beyond Light, not so much, but I'm glad that they figured it out. And Final Shape, that That's perfectly fine. That makes sense. It's hard to end a thing, so they
For
do it
anyone,
well.
like if anyone is doubting this, go fucking play that final mission. The Excision 12-person matchmake with randos. Go in there. The music, the fucking end game moments, the final cutscenes of all of that shit. If you don't get, I'm just getting goosebumps right now. Look at these goosebumps. Look at those goosebumps. Just thinking about it. If you don't get fucking hard as a rock, if you don't get bricked playing that last mission, you're a robot.
I am a robot. All right, next up, we're going to go a game that I played. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. It was a fun indie game I played earlier this year. It's a roguelike where you are a little turnip guy who is robbing a bank over and over again, upgrading your stuff. I never played Commits Tax Evasion, which was the first game in the series, but it's real fun and silly. Had a good time with it. Luckily, the game was only a couple hours long because I was starting to be like, okay, this is fun, but like I'm just running through this bank over and over again. But it's good. I enjoyed it. I think I'm going to put it in there with C tier. I'm waffling
it's good
again.
In certain circumstances. Yeah,
yeah, I think you have to be into the idea of it. I was like, maybe B tier, because I do think the quality is probably B tier, but
it's a
I
very
did not
good
want
game.
Very, that's what it is. Barely, not an A. But no, I think C, just because I was starting to get a little tired, not in a bad way. I was just like, this is cool, but like, we can finish this up. But I do like it. I think people should play it. I don't. Chad hasn't played any of the rest of these. I'll just throw them up here. All right.
No.
Tales of Kenzero Zao.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that came out this year.
Is a game. Yep. First time game from a studio, a Metroidvania with African mythology. I'm going to throw this one in a B because I do think that the acting and the story are like what really makes the game like different and like a cut above, because as a Metroidvania it's solid. It's like, this is good, this is fun, it's fun to get these powers and level up or whatever. It was annoying, like the whole map technical issue stuff. That's cool and that's fine, but I do think that the acting in that story of someone working through their grief living their dad is like gives it a little bump up. So I'm throwing it in B.
B for the bump
if it
up.
wasn't for the story, bumped it up to B, baby. Yep. If it wasn't for that story, it'd probably be a C, but that story definitely moves them up there. Next up, another Crab's Treasure. Souls-like game where you play as a little crab man.
Yeah, a little trashy crab.
Yeah, this game was cool. I was looking forward to it. I enjoyed it. I will say I stopped playing at a certain point because it was just getting to be a lot of just like a lot of running around and fighting these bosses and stuff. I think I didn't love the way that I normally play Souls games. Is I like being a dodgy roll dude, just rolling around and fucking keep rolling, just like that rock band said that one time. And the game really wants you to like block instead of move around and attack. It's just like a personal Souls gripe that I have. I still think the game is good, so I'm thinking between B and C. Chad, I know you haven't played it, but just like, I don't know, you've seen the game and stuff. Where were you? Is anything about the aesthetic interesting? What do you
To
thinking?
be honest, I don't know if I've seen a screenshot of it. I've heard probably from all the podcasts I listen to, probably 2 or 3 hours of commentary about it, but I don't think I've ever seen a screenshot. Another Crab's
It's a cartoon crab. He's fighting demons.
Oh, it's like legit
Very fun and
cartoon looking
whimsical.
crab. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When everyone's talking about
whimsical.
Souls like crab game, I was picturing something like dark and gritty.
No, not at all.
Oh. And you carrying around a gun on your back does look just as ridiculous and awesome as people describe it as.
The accessibility option? Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Okay.
So what are you thinking?
I do
between
like
B
the
and C?
idea of a bright Souls-like game. Like it's Souls-like, but it's like bright and cheery and vibrant, and not cheery necessarily, but because the whole thing is about pollution in the ocean.
Yeah.
So maybe it gets the bright bump up to a B.
Oh, I'd like it. I'm putting it right there in B. Because looking at that between Tales of Kenzero and Another Crab's Treasure, like, yeah, I feel like I like those certain things about those games enough to put them there. All right. We're coming down to the last couple ones. This one, early access. Actually, the next two are going to be early access games, but they're really good. First one is No Rest for the Wicked, which is from High Moon Studios, the guys who made Ori. Early access, again, it's...
Moon Studios is the name of it.
Not High Moon. High Moon is the people who made Transformers stuff. Moon Studios, gorgeous fucking game. early access right now. Again, Souls-ish parts, but it's more action RPG, I would say, than Souls game. Um, man, it looks good, man. All that rain, God, it is an interesting art style I don't think I've ever seen anywhere else. Super fun, surprisingly fleshed out. A lot of good content, a lot of stuff to do. I'm thinking, looking at the list, I mean, I think it's better. I think in its early access form, I do think it's better than Zao and Another Crab's Treasure. So I'm thinking I got to put it at A.
Whoa.
Personally, I know a lot of people really like Another Crab's Treasure. I like it, but I think I really like No Rest for the Wicked a lot. I think it was just kind of more my speed. I could roll in that game, which was nice to be able to roll out of the way of enemies.
So it goes above for A.
I think that's good. Next up, another early access game. An early access game that feels more complete than fucking most 1.0 video games
Right.
do nowadays. Hades 2. Fucking what a goddamn amazing video game. I was so shocked that we were waiting for it. Kind of just dropped in early access. Sorry, Fantasy Critic people, it's not going to come out this year, supposedly. But for all that said, for this game to literally have more content than Hades 1 already is wild. Again, music's great, art's great, character designs are great. Combat, I enjoy Melanoy more than I do Zag. And it continues the story, and I was fucking super into it.
If this isn't I think it's an S from you.
Oh, it's an S tier.
Okay,
Again, when I played it, I was like, yo, this is currently my game of the year. And I'm looking at this listing, but I think that's still my game of the year. Again, I'm probably not gonna be able to use it this year because it's not full release, but I'm like, fuck, that's my favorite game, without a doubt. Fuck, the game's so good. Hades 2, S tier. Special. It's a special video game. All the horny Greek
Hades
gods. All right.
2 for S tier.
Are there S's in all the ones that are? No, there isn't. And last, but certainly not least, a game I told people about last year. Fucking listen. Gotta tell you about it now. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Yeah. It's on the list. It's on the
all
list.
All of our list. Yes. I have not beaten it. I have only played it. I have not beaten it myself. But Cozy, it's on his list. It's on your list as well. So since I haven't beaten it, I don't want to be able to throw it into S tier. But based on what I have played and based on the reception from everybody around the league, around the internet and the industry and stuff, that's definitely an A game. If not S tier. I think by the time I beat it, it might be an S tier. But again, I want to fully beat it before I say that. But I don't know how they, for the amount of Metroidvania games on this list, they were like, how about we do one, but with Prince of Persia? Which is weird because he wasn't around for a long time. Then all of a sudden he was around. But it's also just like all the little things that they do. They're like taking pictures of shit on the map to be able to track all your little doors you got to go back to. So, I don't know. It does all the things about Metroidvania right. And it's also really cool art style. And I really enjoyed the combat a lot. I like you can't just really slash around. You got to think a little bit, but there's some really weird fucking power sets you can use in the game that are awesome. So I'm going to throw it at A tier for now. Probably could be an S tier game. So looking at the list of games that we have played, sorry, Cozy, get some freedom and be on the show. You can put your voice in too. S tier, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Balatro, Destiny 2, The Final Shape, and Hades 2. A tier, Helldivers 2, No Rest for the Wicked, and Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. B tier, Valorant for consoles, Tales of Gonzalo Zhao, and Another Crab's Treasure. C tier, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Turnip Boy robs a bank. And D tier, Foam Stars. Everybody didn't think that was going to be on the list, but it is. So that is our tier list for the first 6 months of the year.
That's a fucking banger list.
Not too bad.
And we've got so much more coming up. Which we'll explore now in Game On Game Show. The Game On Game Show, we play a game called Game On. The Game Show on our Game Show, game. We have now looked at the first 6 months worth of games that we have played. And there's a tradition here at Respawn Aimfire to look at every 6 months, the next 6 months worth of games that are going to come out, and we play Marry Fuck Kill. Ooh. So we're gonna MFK 2024 Part 2 here. So we switched here so everyone visually can see the screen. We have oh shit, hold on, I gotta move this down so it's centered vertically. There we go. Yeah, so we've got
love this. Oh my
great
God.
Picture of Cozy here as a stand-in because I didn't have a 2-person one where I could share my screen readily made yet. So to remind you, we are now taking a look at the next 6 months worth of games coming out in 2024. and we are picking one that we're going to marry, one that we're going to fuck, and one that we're going to kill. These are not quality judgments on these games. They are just simply, do we feel like we want to marry, fuck, or kill this game? This means nothing in terms of Game of the Year. As a recap for 2024 Part 1, we settled on marrying Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which sounds like was a good idea. We decided we were going to fuck Suicide Squad, kill the Justice League. Also sounds like it was a good idea. And we killed Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered, which I don't remember hearing anything about. So I guess no one misses it now that it's dead.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. We did it. So we're going to go now into, there were so many games. There was a huge list of games. And in fact, I'll scroll all the way to the bottom so you can see this big list of games. This is what I narrowed down. I don't want you to read any necessarily. But that's the list of games that I narrowed it down to that were coming out the rest of this year from all the other fluff. And then from there, I narrowed it down to further to a 12-game selection. 12 games, 4 categories, or 4 groups. And then that will leave us with 4 games we're going to marry, 4 we're going to fuck, 4 we're going to kill, and we choose one from each. Our first group of games, the theme on this group is Player's Choice. You get to choose from a roster of characters in these games. The choices here are Power Rangers, Rita's Rewind, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and Concord. 3 games coming out this year that you get to choose the character from a party or roster of characters. What are you thinking, Adam? Marry, fuck, kill.
Marry, fuck, killing the roster?
No. The games themselves. This is just like I had to group them somehow. So these 3 are together. This is the theme for this group.
Marry, fuck, kill. So here's the thing. Obviously, I feel like Power Rangers is a marry, just because the game looks great, and also who doesn't like Power Rangers? Especially if you were born in the 90s, you're fucking into Power Rangers. I think that's you lock it down. Just because looking at the options of the other ones we have to fuck or kill, I would not rather marry either one of those 2. So I would have to marry Power Rangers.
It's also the same, like this is specifically Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the first, like, Jason, Billy, Kimberly, all those people. Like it's those, and we've been with that group, our age group, for 30 years. Like that's a marriage that we've committed to. So yeah, I think we're marrying Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. Power Rangers Rita's Rewind.
Rita's Rewind.
Power Rangers Rita's Rewind.
So here's the thing: is like, do you fuck or kill Mario Party Jamboree and Concord? Because you got to think what those words actually mean. And obviously, none of it actually means anything. But it's like maybe you would kill Concord because you don't know what it is, and maybe it didn't look interesting to you.
I'm still listening. There's a spider. I'm gonna go grab a paper towel and kill it.
And watch out; those things are dangerous. They're all over the place. I'm just like, what would be more fun in the sack? I guess a bunch of weird aliens or Mario and Luigi. I don't know, because I'm not a super. Here's the problem: if you bang Mario Party, then they're gonna hit you with some random bullshit at the end, and they're gonna take all your stars or take all your money or some shit.
Right, exactly. See, that's what I'm thinking, because you have no idea what's coming. You could walk away with a disease. You could walk away dead. No. You could walk away as the best day of your life. And I can't take that chance. I've got so little time left. I have to bet on the knowns, like things I can count on. So I think we kill Super Mario Party Jamboree.
I think it makes sense, as much sense as any of this can make. And then Concord, just because, I don't know, maybe there's a Gamora character, and I wouldn't be against that.
I'm Concord curious.
Yeah, sure.
We'll give it a shot. Try anything twice.
That robot has that fucking vacuum cleaner,
Yeah, it does. All right, so from group 1, we are marrying Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, we are killing Super Mario Party Jamboree, and we are fucking Concord. The theme for group 2, Rocky Mountain Mama. These are games that have had some significant delays or turbulence during development. The game choices are Dragon Age, The Veilguard, The Plucky Squire, and Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl.
Here's the problem. All these games on this list actually look like they could be pretty good.
Right?
So it's going to be difficult.
Again, this is not a value judgment, though.
No, I know. Here's the thing. I automatically don't know where we put it, but you cannot fuck the Plucky Squire just because it looks like a child. So that seems strange.
Yeah.
So I would rather marry it or kill it. Hey, when you turn 18, we'll get married.
Again.
Or I'll kill you. Sorry.
I have so little of my life left ahead of me because I'm old as shit now. I can't take the chance of spending that in prison.
Yeah, no, not worth it. So,
I think you're right. Kill the Plucky Squire.
Yeah, you've got to. Yeah, I guess so. I guess if you're gonna go to jail for anything, I guess killing a child is the fucking anyways. So marry and fuck stalker. So here's the thing, stalker, really beautiful game, gorgeous, full of scary monsters.
I was gonna say it's gorgeous in a way that I don't. It's not like, damn, I want to look at that for the rest of my life. It's gorgeous in a way that's like, damn, that's a nasty, wet, oily creature.
Yeah,
that has a lot of polygons.
Dragon Age is super horny already, but like maybe you marry it and you enjoy that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, could also tire you out. But again, our life is so short anyway, so like, live while you can.
You're really stuck on that today, huh? I think you gotta fuck stalkers just to like do it and get out the way because you don't know.
Right.
But then you can marry Dragon Age. That'll be fun. Why not?
Yeah.
I think that
cool.
makes sense.
All right, so we're marrying Dragon Age the Veilguard, we are killing the Plucky Squire, and we are fucking Stalker 2. Third group, LL Cool Games. These are ladies in leading roles in a game. Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh, interesting. Well, I will say the one I'm least interested in is Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
I will say the same. I don't know how that translates to MFK, but I am least interested in it, I think.
You got to think about it, especially design-wise. That's a little cartoon woman. She's a little cartoon doll woman.
It's a little cartoon woman everywhere. She's going to, you know what she's going to do? Walking around the house, out of nowhere, oops, a chair showed up in front of you, trip over it, fall, crack your skull open.
Yeah.
Walking down the street, oops, a fucking pillow falls out of the sky, hits you in the face, you stumble into the street, get hit by a car. She's going to find ways to just like make shit appear in front of you to fuck with you. But on the flip side though, she could also be like, oh, you're so sleepy, boop, here's a bed. Take a nap.
Be great. And she is royalty. So that means you'll be royalty by marriage.
You're right.
If it was marriage.
Who is Zelda's dad?
I remember that from Breath of the Wild. He was the weird dude in the church. He's like, oh, I'm her dad. I'm this ghost. I don't fucking. He's a king, I guess. Shit.
It's just like the real life Cozy's king, where it's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'd say go ahead and we can kill Zelda. Also because Nintendo's been making bad games featuring women lately anyways. That's the whole thing. You've been talking about that multiple times.
Yeah, we don't want to kill it.
Let's not even chance it. So then here's the thing though. Marrying the lady ladies in leading roles. Assassin's Creed Shadow, Ninja Wife. Sounds all right. I think Star Wars Outlaws, the fact that like I'm playing a scoundrel in whatever, that makes more sense. Like you would just have a one night thing, and then it's like it feels like a thing Han Solo would do, where you're like, oh, I had a one night stand with this alien girl, and now we're robbing a heist. Oh, sorry about that, hun, or whatever. Fuck it, that's bad Harrison Ford. I think you do that. I think you fuck Star Wars Outlaws, and we'll marry the ninja lady. Even though I would have to then live in feudal Japan, I guess I could be Yasuke.
You know what I was thinking though? I like in my brain, this is the struggle I'm having. Yeah, you're gonna live in feudal Japan, where things are old as shit. There's no Wi-Fi. Everyone smells bad probably because no one's taking showers because running water doesn't exist yet. Because it's so old. But then in my brain, I'm like, fuck, Star Wars is also long, long ago.
Yeah, but they do have spaceships.
But they do have spaceships and showers. So...
You want to marry the Star Wars Outlaw girl?
I kind of want to marry Star Wars Outlaws just because they're not going to be as stinky.
Yeah. And also, that's the whole I can fix her thing, right? Aren't people into that?
Right. Everyone, that's
like,
what marriage is.
She's a criminal.
That's what marriage is. It's a game where by the time you die, you are trying to affix to the other person.
Yeah, and I'll get down with the ninja girl. That sounds fun. All right, let's fuck Assassin's Creed Shadows and marry Star Wars Outlaws.
All right, so we are killing Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, fucking Assassin's Creed Shadows, and marrying Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah.
Our
I
final
wouldn't mind
group.
being in Star Wars land.
Don't I know you from somewhere? These are games that are eerily similar to another popular gamer franchise, yet still legally distinct. Metaphor ReFantazio, a.k.a. Persona. Black Myth Wukong, a.k.a. every other Souls-like. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, a.k.a. Uncharted, a.k.a. Indiana Jones the movies.
Yeah.
Marry, fuck, kill. Here's the thing I'm going to say. Metaphor
Go for it.
ReFantazio, I don't understand it. I don't understand the appeal of it. I don't understand the game. I don't understand what's going on. I'm sure there are talking cats in it. I don't want to be married to something for decades or years or weeks, depending on how long I have to live, that I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather go to prison for the plucky squire.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I don't want to marry Metaphor.
Okay. Here's the weird thing, right? Even though it seems like a strange answer, we know what Indiana Jones is. We know he's a man that lived in recent times, like we have showers and stuff.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford / Troy Baker, charming, fun to be around. He's a fun guy. So I think Indiana Jones and the Great Sword, regardless of which of these games is the best, I think if I had to hang around somebody, I'd want to hang around Indiana Jones over these other people.
I could have yeah, you know what though? Yeah.
Because here's the thing, like, do I want to live in Black Myth Wukong land? Do I want to live in Metaphor?
No. I don't want to live in Black Myth Wukong place. And Indiana Jones, while like that game does not look like a game that I want to live in, from like me playing the game and living in that world, quote unquote, for a while, I could like have a house with Harrison Ford's likeness, and like I have my room and he has his, so that we can like I'm done with you for now. Can we just like go do our own separate thing?
Yeah, history's fun.
Yeah. History is my least favorite subject in school.
Oh, I love.
But that can be when he goes and does his thing, goes out on a work trip to go get some artifact, and I can be like, cool, I'm going to play
also,
Destiny.
It's tenure, so you know you got a good retirement plan, so you're taken care of.
Yeah, all right. So we're going to marry Indiana Jones.
And that's the thing, dude.
Which leaves us with killing Metaphor. No, because we're not. All we're doing is not marrying Metaphor. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get the marry out of the way.
Yeah.
So it's the thing. Who do you want to get down with? A monkey man in a Souls-like game, or a bunch of anime characters? I think they both sound equally unappealing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We got to do one of them. Any ideas here? Because I know it's not Persona, but I do like Persona. But Metaphor has not done anything for me. But in those games, people are charming and fun, and there's romance. But I don't even know if there's romance in this one. Black Myth Wukong, I mean, he's badass. I don't know if that helps you just for one night. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
he's a badass that also is only around these nightmarish fucking creatures all the time.
Yeah.
You know he's going to have PTSD. You know you're going to get into bed and he's going to start screaming and maybe rip your head off on accident.
Yeah. Scary. We'll just chance it with the anime people.
Yeah, we'll chance it with the anime people. Let's fuck the anime people and we'll kill Black Myth Wukong.
Okay. I think that's the safest route we can go.
Yeah. Okay. So we are fucking Metaphor ReFantazio, killing Black Myth Wukong, marrying Indiana Jones in the Great Circle.
Yep.
So that now leads us to the point in the game where we have to choose one game in each category: marry, fuck, and kill. So we'll start with marry. So we have Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Dragon Age Veilguard, and Power Rangers. Which of those 4 games are we going to marry?
For me, it's between Power Rangers and Star Wars.
I 100% was like
contenders.
with Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, since you want Power Rangers, we should go with Power Rangers.
I think
out of things that I want to be around for a long period of time, it would either be Power Rangers or it would be in Star Wars land.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Power Rangers.
we'll
Great.
Rangers.
Easy. All right. Fuck. We have Metaphor ReFantazio. We have Assassin's Creed Shadows, Stalker 2, and Concord. I'm going to throw Stalker 2 away.
Yeah, because I don't want to chance it. It looks too gross. In a good way, but not necessarily. So we have, what does that leave us with?
So it leaves us with Metaphor ReFantazio, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Concord.
I'd probably get Concord out of there too, because it's not Gamora. If they had Gamora, I'd be into it, but they don't have Gamora.
Yeah.
So then it leaves us with Shadows and Metaphor. So do I want?
Well, yeah. I understand Stinky.
Yeah.
I don't understand
anything
at least know about Metaphor.
Is.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. All right. I think we got to go for the ninjas and the large black man.
Assassin's Creed Shadows. All right. So that leaves us finally with kill. Which game are we killing? Black Myth Wukong. Yeah, Black Myth Wukong. Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Plucky Squire. Super Mario Party Jamboree. So it's basically, are we killing the woman, the child, the aliens
monkey.
because we're xenophobic, or the weird monsters?
So I would say we don't need to kill Zelda because I want to give Nintendo a chance to do right with a female-led game. So we don't need to kill her before she even gets a chance, even though they've showed us they can't do it. So we can leave her off the list. Plucky Squire, if I don't have to kill a kid, I won't. So let's leave that on the list. So then it's like, do I want to kill I want to kind of kill Mario Party because it's going to be unfair. If I do good, it's going to fuck me. So
I can tell you probably 70% of the time that I play Mario Party, I want to kill Mario Party.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill the game and I'm going to kill whoever beat me for no reason because they got 3 extra stars at the very end because they got fucking participation trophies. Or like,
so, you walked the most steps.
You stepped on the most Goombas on the lower half of the board on turn 4. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, I'll fuck them.
Let's do it. You're so unfair. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Okay, so we have narrowed it down on our official games for 2024, Part 2. We are marrying Power Rangers, Rita's Rewind. We are fucking Assassin's Creed Shadows. And we are killing Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Perfect list.
That's the official list. And again, on this list down here, we still didn't even talk about or mention TMNT Splintered Fate, Flintlock Siege of Dawn, NES World Championships, World of Goo, Dustborn, Harry Potter Quidditch, Astrobot, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, Silent Hill 2, COD Blop 6, Mario and Luigi Brothership, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, Avowed, Deathbound, Hyper Lightbreaker. Oh, we did do Indiana Jones. Yeah, so that's the other pared down list from the other giant list of things that are coming out. So lots of good shit.
You didn't put College Football 25 in there. You could have put that in there.
Yeah, I guess it was just such a generic ass name on the Wikipedia page that I didn't even think about it.
Disrespectful.
So. All right, that's it for Game on Game Show, which means that's it for episode 360. Yes, 360.
Yeah, it is 360.
Xbox 360 of Respawn Aim Fire. Thank you everyone so much for listening. Reminder: Cozy Bears Cooking is back, season 5, Wednesday nights, 8 or 8:30 Eastern.
Canadian
one of those.
time.
You know what? Log on to twitch.tv/CozyBearLive at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And if he's not there, just wait.
Log in at 7. Just see what he's doing.
I love the idea that he has a live stream up 24/7 just to,
oh my God. By the way, AdamandEve.com. Here it is.
Oh.
Adam's Gawk 3.0.
Gawk?
Yeah, Gawk. GAWK. That's the sound that you make when you get fellatio.
Gotcha. What do you think the website Gawker was named after then?
Give you one guess.
So go to Cozy Bear Live. You also have to, this is required, you have to go to patreon.com/respawningfire. You don't have to subscribe there if you don't want to, but if you would like to become a patron, you get all sorts of cool things. Up right now is a 1v1 head-to-head, me versus Joel, on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Inspired Locked and Loaded as our monthly RAF game show. Again, that is exclusive for patrons until the end of the month and then comes to everybody once it's old and crusty and stale. And was Adam on that episode several times? Maybe. Was he in multiple different periods of time in the world and the universe? Yeah. Find out where. Patreon.com/respawningfire.
Real quick, though. Yeah. Cozy's Cooking. New episodes every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time between July 3rd and August 7th.
5 Eastern Time?
Yeah.
5 o'clock? Is that real? Or did he just Twitter accidentally put... That can't be right.
No, his Twitter says 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay.
It wasn't 5 last time. It was 8 p.m. last time, wasn't it?
Last time it was later, yeah.
Okay.
But now it's
5.
Sooner,
all right, everyone. Wednesday. Log on at 7, see what he's doing. And if he's not doing it, wait. Just sit there and wait for a week until 5 p.m. the next Wednesday. And then while you're at patreon.com/respawningfire, you can also vote on what we're playing for Barf games every month. What is Barf? It's more than just a sound and a gross smell. It is backlog accomplishment with Respawn and Friends, where we find games that we wanted to have played, that we are meaning to get around to, maybe classic games that everyone thinks are really great that we've never taken a time to play. And then sometimes it's Kerbal Space Program. And this month we are playing, because you asked us to, Tomb Raider 2014 Definitive Edition, Hair Physics Edition. You can play the 2013 PS3 No Hair Physics edition if you want.
And somebody did.
Did they?
Strangely enough.
Son of a bitch. So yeah, play that game. We are going to talk about it at the end of the month. If you would like to be involved in that discussion, either asynchronously via email or DM on Twitter, you can. Or you can be synchronously linked with us over video while we record the podcast live. So if you would like that to happen, asynchronously reach out to us via text message, Twitter message, email at respawningfire@gmail.com, etc., 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 etc. And then you will have a new poll worth of shit to go vote on at the end of the month. So in just a couple of weeks, we'll have another poll up for the month of August. If you're can we announce what you're doing at the end of August? Have we said that already?
No, I think we can do that next week.
Okay, we won't do that. All right, everyone, that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Until next week, what was I going to say?